Hey, welcome to the Supernatural Hour. We're back. I'm Raven, by the way.
This is Doc.
I'm Emmett.
And Chad's here.
We're excited to be back with you today.
And Rogue wasn't with us today. She'll be back in the near future.
Yeah, she got to go hang out in Las Vegas for Thanksgiving, and now she's super tired. All the partying she did.
Okay, the business is brought to you today by Castle Photo Art. We just want to say hi to our patrons and thank them for their support. We're really excited to have them participate with us and help us on this fun adventure.
And just a little heads up, I know that Castle happened to get some really cool new equipment, so give them a ring-a-ding.
Yep, Castle Photo Art. So we don't have any public investigations in December, but we are encouraging everybody to donate to the Utah Food Bank, utahfoodbank.org. So go on out to their website and donate directly to them.
Yep, it's Christmas time, so let's spread some love and cheer to those that might be struggling a little bit this year. That totally rhymed. Didn't mean for it to.
You're just so talented.
We should put music to that.
So I understand we did have an interesting investigation. Raven, why don't you tell us about that?
We did. This one was interesting. A lot of times we will get tenants from a fourplex or an apartment building, and they're concerned that their landlord will find out. This time it was the landlord that was concerned that the tenants would find out that we were there. So we actually met and we sat in the car in front of the apartment building and did an investigation from the car. And we did let her know, this isn't going to be a super in-depth investigation.
From the car? Probably not.
And I have to hand it to the client. She contacted me. Of course, I don't just randomly search out people.
Hey, we saw your apartment here and you got ghosts.
Hey, your house looks haunted. Can I come in?
Exactly. No, she contacted us, and some of the issues that she had been having was she just had a bad feeling. She's pretty sensitive, and she could tell that something wasn't quite right. And then they've had some damage done that they can't explain how this damage. And she didn't go into detail on the damage, and I didn't ask much about that, again, because we were in the car. But
one of the things that I did find interesting, and it was the way that before she explained different things, you explained to her what you were feeling.
Yes.
So go into that, because I think that's interesting, because it wasn't her telling us, it was you telling her what you felt and how that went down.
Right, so there was me, and then we have a new investigator. Her name is Christy, and she and I both felt the same thing, just kind of a heaviness, angst, anxiety, and not malevolent, just anxious would be the best, but like a heavy anxious, like really, really extreme, heavy, almost like I'm trying to do something and I can't, and I'm just stuck.
As soon as she drove up to the property or just in certain areas?
Just as we drove up, because again, we drove up and I think I only got out of the car to get in the back of the car to get out some equipment.
Your equipment. And we were there a few minutes before she was, and so Raven was kind of,
we put out the feels.
Putting out the feels.
We didn't want to get out and walk around because, give the tenants
creepy.
creeps. There were these people walking around, so it was all done, kind of Mission Impossible-esque.
Was this like a single unit, or was this a multi-unit?
Fourplex.
A fourplex, okay. I'm just, picturing you burning sage outside. And
It's probably best that I didn't show up with a telephoto lens and a parabolic microphone and
Probably.
Might have raised a couple of eyebrows.
The policeman would have come by and said, hello. So, but I have to give credit to this lady. I texted her and I said, hey, we're here. And she texted back and said, I'll be there in just a couple of minutes. And then I said, when you get here, just hop in the car with us. And I thought, how creepy is that? I've never met these people. I'm just going to hop in their car with them.
Yeah, can you get in the white van?
We have free candy.
But she was so nice. And she kind of explained to us, apparently, back in because she said the building was built in the 60s. Mm-hmm. And apparently sometime between the 60s and the 70s, someone had died in there, a young man, and they weren't sure if he was murdered or killed.
Or suicide. They weren't sure what the situation was.
Yeah, I guess murder or killed would be the same thing. Suicide or killed. And you know what? Did we ever determine which one? Did we ask that question?
We did, and they didn't have the information.
Oh, okay.
She tried to get the information. I don't know that we asked that. I don't know that you asked that through the tools, but I don't think we did.
Yeah, and I'm blanking out that because this young man, because we did make contact with him, he was the one that was feeling the heavy, heavy anxiety because he wanted to cross, but he didn't know how. And I tell you what, usually we'll give the spirits a name, so that we can talk to them and not just be like, hey, dude. And we'll ask them, do you like the name? But he was so anxious to be crossed that I just didn't even feel like I wanted to ask him a lot of questions because I felt his best interest was just to cross and continue on.
He was ready.
Realm.
So he couldn't find a place to cross, or he was just apprehensive about it and didn't.
He couldn't find it.
Okay.
I've never had a spirit cross so fast. Boom, he was gone.
Cool.
And like I said, I just had the feeling of don't interrogate him, just let him go. Is the feel I got. But the interesting thing is when we first got there, since we were sitting in the car, we didn't pull out a ton of equipment. I had the K2 meter, I had the Ghost Meter Pro, and I had my dowsing rods. And I always use the dowsing rods last. And as soon as I turned on the K2 meter, it was lighting up. And I thought, it's got to be something in the car. Mm-hmm. So we turned the car off. But if it was something in the car, it would have just stayed on, but it would light all the way up, and then it'll go down, and then, it almost had the feel,
Well, it was probably in the car, it just wasn't the car.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't. And the play that I was getting on the K2 meter was the same when on occasion I've run into a child that just likes to play with it and see the pretty lights. And so we asked if there was a child there, and there was. It was a little girl.
So you had already crossed over the
male
spirit.
Yes.
Yeah, so that was out of the way and done, and we were still getting activity, and there was still some things. Touch base just a little more on the landlord, the woman, and after you gave her your explanation, she said, yeah, that's exactly it. She was surprised at your coming to that conclusion without any information.
Right. Because Christy and I both, told her what we had experienced and what we felt. And she was, you could tell that she was impressed. And not like we're trying to be all impressive, but it's just nice when everyone's information kind of, it gives us some credibility to where the clients go, oh, okay, yeah, okay, you know what you're doing. You're feeling it.
Get that validation.
Yes.
Yeah, from her. And there wasn't any prepping of her beforehand or that kind of stuff. It was her. Ravyn and Christy gave their explanations of what they were feeling, and you could just see the whole time when they were talking, her just shaking her head.
Yeah, and I couldn't see her because she was sitting right behind me.
Yeah, I was looking, and she was shaking her head. And you could just see her just going, yeah, they completely are on this as far as what she had experienced.
Right. So this little girl is about 9. She wasn't attached to the land. She just kind of, the apartment building in any way. She just kind of showed up and liked it. There's a 5-year-old boy that lives with one of the tenants, one of the children there, that she likes him. Not likes him, but, it's another child. Apparently she has been the one that's been causing the damage, and she's not doing it purposely. She's a 9-year-old girl, and I don't think she realized, I think she was trying to get some attention. I think she was trying to be funny because she was kind of a precocious little thing. Not trying to be mean, not trying to be a jerk, just a 9-year-old tease, just a kid trying to be funny and not realizing that the funny was causing damage. And so we had a chat with her. The tenant said she could stay as long as she quit doing damage. And, we told the client you can just set boundaries and spirits will follow those boundaries. And we actually and the little girl said she would abide by those boundaries. One thing I haven't told you yet, because it came through on text, is apparently this little girl followed the tenant's husband home and has kind of been messing with the husband a little bit. Husband doesn't like it, so we're probably going to go to their home.
The landlord's home?
The landlord's home.
Ah.
And we might have to evict the little girl because it's given the husband the creeps. So,
interesting. I didn't know that.
Yep. She just texted me that just a couple days ago, and I've forgotten it with everything going on. But One of the tenants is going to be moving out here in a couple of weeks, and we, at the time of this investigation, we discussed coming back when that unit is open before the new tenant moves in, and we're going to show her how to cleanse it, because where she's got tenants, coming and going and coming and going, this way she can kind of just go in and cleanse in
If
between.
she's cleaning the apartment, she can cleanse it too.
Yes.
Next time, they're shampooing the carpets or something, just sneak in real quick.
Right, because we told her, we said, there could be spirits. Spirits can be very territorial, and there could be spirits that are just hanging out in someone's closet, not doing anything. I mean, they're not going to come out to the car to talk to us. Oh, hey, there's people here to talk to us. Come on, honey. Let's go sit in the car with everybody. So when we go in, we might find some different ones. We don't know. So we've got one, at least, maybe two more investigations coming from this one.
Interesting. It was a very interesting investigation. It was a different investigation, but we've done different. We've done Zoom investigations. We've done car investigations.
We're very flexible.
Yeah.
You think you got something going on? Call us.
We'll find a way.
It's interesting. We have discovered we can do Zoom investigations. The one that we did, the spirits can't manipulate
The equipment.
but Charles can talk to the spirit guides, so we can use the dowsing rods. So it's not an in-depth investigation, but it gives us a good idea of where to go. We did one in Indiana, and we had to call some people to go help her that were local, because she needed some more help than we were able to give. But we were at least able to come to that point over Zoom. So.
Wow, virtual investigations. That's amazing.
I know, it's what COVID will do.
Check out our shop at advancedparanormal.com for all your paranormal needs. Sage spray, sage lavender, roller jars, etc. Everything you need.
We have it.
It's a cool website.
Awesome. Speaking of websites, how's our YouTube and TikTok presence coming along?
Really good. We're up to almost 1,700
All right.
on our TikTok likes. But I'm getting ready to go back to school, so I've kind of been involved in scholarship applications. So I'll get back on the TikTok.
As opposed to TikToking.
Yeah, trying to be responsible.
Well, we're on TikTok. What is our I'm not on TikTok.
You need to get on TikTok and be a follower.
Well, yeah, apparently. How do we find you? How do we find Supernatural Hour / Advanced Paranormal on TikTok?
So you just search for advanced.paranormal.
Advanced.paranormal.
And then you give us a like.
And on YouTube, it's just Supernatural Hour.
YouTube.com/Supernatural Hour. And we have 125 subscribers. If you haven't subscribed, please go out and subscribe. Tell your friends to.
And Bucket List is brought to you by Barbary Coast Saloon.
All right. My bucket list is the Ancient Ram Inn in England. This is an inn that was built about 1145 as a keeping house for slaves and workers who were constructing the local St. Mary's Church. And after they left, it became the home of the priest. It has had many different owners ever since, and it's now available to go out and spend the night in. It had been a bed and breakfast for a while, but it was deemed that it was a little bit too dangerous for that. And
Dangerous paranormal-wise or dangerous
paranormal-wise, you can still get in there. And the owner died at like 86 or 87, and his daughter's now doing it, but she only rents it out now to paranormal people. So you can still get in there and spend the night and do that. But it's in England. It's about an hour and a half from Stonehenge. So I'd like to get Stonehenge at this. And
so this is back in the day when I used to watch Ghost Adventures. They did an episode on the Ancient Ram Inn, and this was one of the Ghost Adventures episodes that kind of gave me the creeps. So, which means I really, really want to go there.
They say they've got an incubus and a succubus.
A match set.
You can get, male and female. People have been physically attacked. There's some interesting things. Just go out and Google it, and it's got some interesting pictures, but it's been around a long time. But I thought that would be a fun place to go and visit when we're out hanging out at Stonehenge.
Yes, it would be.
Next week.
If only.
Okay, so you remember how earlier I said there would be chickens?
Yes,
Yes.
I remember that.
I also said there had to be a Harry Potter reference, and I haven't had one because it's too serious of a topic. So this is your Harry Potter reference. I said Harry Potter. Okay, and our junk drawer is brought to you by Utah Freeze Dried for Pets. Rogue has got some amazing little dog treats. One of the last times I Marco Polo'd her, she was talking about making some new product.
I'm a huge customer.
Yeah, and they're great. Dogs love them. So I had a chicken die.
Oh,
I have chickens. I had a chicken that died, and it was sad. I couldn't let her die outside, so I wrapped her up in a towel and brought her in and made her a little bed, and she helped me fill out scholarship applications.
chicken hospice.
And then she passed in my bedroom.
You're in the studio
Yeah, right here. So
So now we're haunted.
with chickens.
yeah,
chicken
And there's more.
ghosts.
there's a
there's
chicken
more.
ghost. Yeah, so there's more. So I was talking to Rogue, and she was feeling guilty because she said, "You're feeling sad." I literally cried over my chicken. I shouldn't be allowed to have pets because I cry when stuff happens to them. So she says, "I'm really feeling guilty because the things that I made treats out of are your dead pets that you feel sad about. They're chicken hearts." Anyway, so I'm looking for a junk drawer, right? And I thought, there's probably a chicken ghost in my bedroom. So I thought, I'm going to see if there's anything online about chicken ghosts. There,
Oh my gosh.
Ghost and Mr. Chicken.
Yeah, that's a great film. Don Knotts. Oh,
Exactly.
my wife and I quote that one frequently.
so there is a lot about chicken ghosts online, but not necessarily the spirit of a past chicken. So, Chad is the master of all music and songs. And he knows every song, he knows every line. But he did not know about ghost riders in the sky. I'm like, have you ever heard this? He's like, what? I said, you're kidding me. I know a song that you don't know. So I played it for him. Johnny Cash, right?
Do you know that one, Doc?
It wouldn't surprise me if I've heard it, but I don't know it off the top of my head.
But you didn't grow up in Payson either.
That's true. I live pretty
Did
damn
you know this?
close
Did you
at
know the
this
song?
point.
Yeah, that's a standard.
See? Anyway, so if I ever know a song that Chad doesn't know, I have
And
to-
Emmett didn't grow up in Payson either.
No, he didn't. So, if I get this opportunity to one-up Chad on a song, I feel pretty proud of myself. But if you go online and type in chicken ghost, there's chicken ghost riders in the sky.
Okay.
Okay? So for all of you out there who know about ghost riders in the sky, if you've never heard it, go to YouTube, ask your Alexa to play it for you. It's Johnny Cash. So it's going to have that kind of
Western.
60s country western feel to it. Here's the words to Chicken Ghost Rider in the Sky. I won't sing it. I've already promised you I won't
You're
sing.
going to read it more like we're having
It's
like
a dramatic
poetry
reading.
night or something.
Yes.
Okay.
A dramatic reading.
Dramatic
Beatniks
reading.
over here. Jeez.
Okay, ready?
Let's hear it.
A chicken farmer went out one dark and dreary day. He stopped to sit beside the coop to break along his way. When all at once a rotten egg hit him in the eye. It was a sight he dreaded. Ghost chickens in the sky. Okay, now here's the chorus. The chorus is the best part. Bok, 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 bok. Join in. Bok, 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 bok. Ghost chickens in the sky.
Chickens in the sky.
Hey, we have a singer. Okay. The farmer had raised chickens since he was 24. Been working for the colonel some 30 years or more. Raising all these chickens, then sending them to fry. Now they want revenge. Those chickens in the sky.
Yippee-ki-yay.
No. Bok, 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 bok.
Ghost chickens.
It was ghost chickens, not yippee-ki-yay. We yippee-ki-yay in the regular version. Okay.
That's
Okay.
kind of a roundabout way to get to this point, you know, but
It is. So their beaks were black and shiny, their eyes a burning red. They had no meat or feathers. These chickens all were dead. They picked the farmer up, and he died by the claw. They cooked him extra crispy and ate him with coleslaw. Bok, 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 bok.
I think we've officially circled back to mental illness, guys. Sorry.
I'm possessed. It's not mental illness.
If you had sung this song to me on Wednesday, I would have punched you in the face. Or bawled. Anyway, so I kept looking because I thought that can't be the entire junk drawer. It doesn't get a whole lot better. This one, I think, is a made-up entity for a video game or someone's Dungeon and Dragon play.
The Chicken Man.
It's called Chicken Ghost.
Did he live in Texas? Is there a bridge?
A bridge. It's a haunted coop.
Probably. In Waco, I don't know. The Chicken Ghost. It says, things had been strange since they moved in. Every carton of eggs they brought in ended up being rotten. He even cracked one with the chicken fetus still inside. Birds had been flying into the windows, and he'd waken up with the little wounds on his body, little chicken pecks. The ghost chicken, also known as chicken ghost or god of chickens, is a minor deity, oddly enough, specifically
Extremely
for poultry.
minor.
Not quite up there with Zeus.
Yeah, the Greeks didn't build temples to this deity, right?
Not that we know of.
Okay.
Unless
But maybe they named a bridge after it.
Yeah. Some bridge in ancient Greece is named after the chicken ghost.
Oh, that's terrible. While he is frightening, he is stated that he is chaotic good and rarely attacks, as he just defends the chickens. The chicken ghost is completely white, tall, humanoid chicken. He has red eyes with small black pupils that intend to look like a humanoid chicken fetus. It has chicken-like hands with 3 skeletal fingers and a thumb on each hand.
Chickens don't have hands.
This one
How do you have chicken-like hands?
whispering for the recording. Let's see here. In its patron saint drawing, it is a patron saint, it has a white pearl-like orb in its chest floating in place, suggesting that it actually represents an actual chicken egg. It was shown to have a set of thorns protruding from its back in one of its drawings. It is 6 feet.
Was that thorns or cloves?
We don't know. It says thorns. Thorns. He is 6.9 feet or 2.1 meters tall. He weighs 100 pounds. Presumably he's male. Eye color red, skin color white, species chicken, type humanoid chicken, abilities biting, high speed, calling for chickens, chicken noises. His goal and motive is to attack any human it sees eating chicken or any type of poultry. It likes chickens, oddly enough, and farms. Dislikes cities, wild animals, and location farm areas, so no bridges.
If it's a male, shouldn't it be the rooster ghost?
I did not invent this. I'm just reading it. But good point.
I'm just thinking about this because...
But Raven, what did you have for lunch tonight?
I had a chicken sandwich. It was delicious.
Was it from your dead chicken?
No.
I hope not, because it's out in the garbage can.
Okay.
It came from Wendy's.
That's
Wendy's?
weird. I had chicken
Arby's.
soup.
Arby's.
That's just... It's
What a coincidence.
Chicken day.
It is chicken.
I had chicken nuggets.
I ate turkey.
Poultry. It's poultry.
That's just a big chicken.
Like how there's turkey gravy, chicken gravy. It's the same thing. They taste the same to me. We're going to get nasty emails from poultry connoisseurs that tell us like otherwise. All right. Hey, stay spooky, my haunty friends.
Have a good one.
See you next time.
Hey, good night.
You've been listening to the Supernatural Hour at AdvancedParanormal.com. The Supernatural Hour is part of the Radio Ronin network found at RadioRonin.com. Copyright 2021 by Advanced Paranormal Services.